Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, let's predict the price trend of Advanced Micro Devices stock. I am a swing investor, and I will not consider the price changes of a stock 1 month later. This channel only makes short-term price predictions for stocks, usually 1 to 3 weeks. Welcome to subscribe to this channel. AMD stock has not fluctuated significantly in the past 2 days. But this consolidation may not last too long. After the recent high and fall of the stock, the bulls do not seem to be very willing to push the stock price to rebound. Although the stock is still in an upward trend from a long-term perspective, the recent sell-off has made the bulls somewhat passive, and the funds flowing into the market seem to have decreased. The stock currently seems to have a large amount of long capital that has not yet exited the market at a certain height, so it is not easy for the bears to significantly lower the stock price. However, since the stock has been rising for 3 months, it is reasonable for some profit capital to choose to exit the market at a high level, but this may further lower the stock price. We can see from the 30-minute chart of the stock. The stock price rose strongly on June 24th and the trading volume was large. However, the stock price did not rise significantly in the following 4 trading days. The intraday bulls tried to push up the stock price further but were suppressed by the bears. This means that the stock has entered a selling cycle and some profitable capital has exited the market at a high level. Although the average daily trading volume in these 4 trading days is not large, the accumulated funds flowing out of the market are not small. The problem is that the stock price has not rebounded significantly in the past 3 days, and the trading volume is not large, which shows that the market is still very cautious and the willingness to buy is not strong. In any case, the resistance in the area above the current price of the stock has been formed. If the stock price rebounds at the current position, the stock will face the double selling pressure of profitable capital and locked-in capital. In this case, there is a high possibility that the bulls will be suppressed by the bears again. Of course, if the stock price falls further, its support position is also very obvious. Previously, the stock seemed to have a large amount of long capital entering the market to take over the chips in the area below $133. So when the stock price falls below $133, the stock will enter the support area, and the bulls may frantically block the bears. We can see this through the position distribution of the stock. In the past 6 trading days, the stock's position volume in the $135.90 to $147.30 area has increased significantly, and some profitable capital should have exited the market here. However, compared with the position volume in the area below $135.90, the position volume in this area is not large, so it is reasonable for the stock price to rebound again at the current position and rise further. But this does not mean that the bulls can push the stock price to break through the recent high. The stock has accumulated a lot of profitable capital in the low area. If the stock price rises again, under the dual selling pressure of profitable capital and locked-in capital, the stock is likely to reverse and fall again after creating a double top structure. The more negative prediction is that the stock will fall directly at the current position. Driven by the artificial intelligence boom, the stock continues to be popular with investors. Wall Street analysts are still optimistic about the stock. Recently, Mizuho Securities analyst VJ Rakesh raised AMD's target price from $135 to $152, while maintaining a buy rating. The analyst slightly adjusted his earnings forecast for AMD. While he kept his revenue forecast unchanged, he lowered his earnings forecast due to margin pressure. Looking ahead to fiscal 2025, he maintained his revenue forecast of $32 billion, but lowered his EPS forecast from $4.02 to $3.90. He also lowered his earnings forecast for 2026 from $6.28 to $5.86, but it is still slightly higher than Wall Street's expectations of $5.81. Rakesh is optimistic about the potential of AMD's MI355X AI accelerator, which he expects to gain momentum in the second half of 2025. Although NVIDIA remains the dominant player in the AI chip space, Rakesh noted that many large cloud computing companies have begun looking for alternatives to reduce their dependence on a single supplier. This shift could be beneficial to AMD's future development. Nevertheless, Rakesh also pointed out that software remains AMD's weakness, limiting its ability to compete head-on with NVIDIA. He believes that AMD still needs to work on software to fully unlock the value of its AI hardware. Currently, AMD stock has a buy rating from analysts accounting for 71.4% and a hold rating accounting for 28.5%. In the past 3 months, the average price target for AMD stock given by 35 analysts is $135, slightly lower than the current price. The highest price target for AMD stock is $200 and the lowest price target is $95. Bloomberg recently reported that the Trump administration plans to restrict companies such as NVIDIA from exporting artificial intelligence chips to Malaysia and Thailand to prevent suspected semiconductor smuggling to China. The draft of the U.S. Department of Commerce will combine new control measures with the formal revocation of global restrictions on artificial intelligence proliferation rules, while maintaining semiconductor restrictions on China and more than 40 other countries. Although Malaysia and Thailand are not officially included in the main revenue-generating regions of NVIDIA and AMD, if this chip export restriction policy is officially implemented, it will still have some impact on the revenue of these two chip giants, especially the negative impact on their stocks. Although the long-term trend of the stock may still rise, the short-term correction pressure is also very significant. The current price of the stock remains at a certain height, but its upward trend seems to be weakening, and the willingness of bulls to further push up the stock price does not seem strong. This means that the current sell-off of the stock may not be over yet, and the stock price may adjust further downward. In addition, the U.S. chip export restriction policy may also further lower the stock price. If the market sell-off is severe, the stock may experience a deep correction, so for the time being, I set the target price of the stock in the range of $125.80 to $135.90. Okay, guys, this is my price forecast for AMD stock. Thank you for watching. If you agree with my analysis, please share and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video.